Podcast. And we're on. Okay.
Hello.
So here we go. KingWoes Court yet again, and episode 5. I think this is. I keep forgetting the. I'm not as professional as Metal Cell, as you know, Richie. Good old props to Richie there. You know. Yeah. So how's the form? KingWoes Court. Welcome back, and we have a very special guest who I was so excited to get him onto the show. I said I better nail him down now before he gets other offers to do Hollywood and stuff like that, you know. One of my good friends and one of my old running buddies on the road, Ronan, O'hArrachtain.
Hello,
10 Ton Slug. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Finally, I'm delighted one of you came on to my bleeding show.
Bleeding. It is bleeding. Yeah, I know. Yeah, great to be honest. Great to be chatting about metal. Just
a little chat and catch up and see how you are and everyone else, and you know yourself. I mean, I'm so laid back with my podcast now. It's just, you know, it actually looks like you're sitting in my kitchen, because normally when we could do face to face, we have I like people in the kitchen, you know what I mean? So I like the way we have it at the moment. You know, it's great.
So the sessions we had in your kitchen.
Oh God, yeah. You didn't get into the dog kennel.
I did,
yeah. Oh, that was some night. That was some fucking.
What was that after? That was after. Was that?
Was it? Wasn't no? It wasn't Crowbar, was it?
I can't remember. It's one of them. Anyway.
There was many a night like that, you know.
Oh Christ, yeah, great times. Like, you miss them now.
You do indeed. You do indeed. Oh my God, I don't know how you guys are coping. Tell me, first of all, are you all safe and sound?
We're all safe and sound, thanks be to God. Well, not to God, but don't like God. But we're all good. Everyone's doing safe. Is keeping safe, and lucky enough, majority of us are working through it all. So
yeah, that's good.
Busy out, you know. But it's been good. Getting a lot of work done on tunes on the album, trying to get it finished. You know yourself, just trying to write through it as well. Like, we had stuff before all COVID and everything. It was like, right, this is the year to do it, record, and then boom. So the worst thing about it all is not being like, we've been doing the demo thing, like you've been recording from home and stuff, but it's not the same when you're in the room jamming. Like, it's so hard, and you're just going. So you do something, you know, as you would at a band practice. You know, you come up with a little idea or put that in and go, why'd you put that there? It's like, you know, like the usual band stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Do a second take or do another version, and then you might be busy, and then, you know. But it has been good. We're majority of the way there, you know.
Good. And when everything kind of goes back to normal, where are you planning on recording this time?
We're planning on recording with Kieran Conhan.
Oh, from Sharpbourne.
From Sharpbourne,
yeah.
So we recorded our last single with him, and he was so handy to work with and so friendly, just really good to work with, and just great ideas. Yeah. And the best thing is he's an hour and a half down the road from Galway. So he's in Limerick, so
yeah, that always helps.
It's just great. Like, so we're just gonna go back with him and it's just great to work with.
There was a nice, thick, hefty sound with, was it Matriarch of Slime that he did?
It was Hunting Ground.
Sorry, Hunting Ground, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I remember it was a hefty sound, alright.
Yeah, it's a thing I'm trying to get, like the first recording we did in Fermanagh with John Moffat was brilliant, lovely and raw and just atmospheric, and it was cool. And then when we recorded the second EP, Blood and Slime, with Johnny, Dead Dog Studios, sounded great as well. So we're trying to get, it was slightly more produced. So we're just trying to get more of them, mix the two of them together and just get it like clear, chuggy waft.
Trying to hit that sweet spot is always.
You know yourself, yeah.
Yes, I mean we're lucky in the sense that we have Johnny as our producer. And in the band, because he knows exactly what we need and what we do, and like what you were saying about, you know, like we were booked to record our follow-up EP just before this all kicked off, and so we had to cancel. So we're in limbo at the minute because I don't know if you remember, like half the band is up north, half of us are down here.
Jeez,
so we can't do anything, and then I'm absolutely useless with recording. I've eventually just got like Reaper onto my fucking laptop there, and I'm trying to record ideas and that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to figure it out, like, you know.
Yeah. It's hard to do when you're at home as well. You don't have your like space to rap, you know. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, like and as well as that, when you have the kids, like, you know, it's I think Jake would be terrified now if I start screaming.
How's all the kings anyway?
All good. Jake is 3 now, and he's a little shithead, but I still love him though. Kerry's 14, and she's a really little madam. She's she's still playing and doing her music and that kind of stuff. So that's all that matters, really.
Comes after a good name anyway.
That's it. That's it. You have to live up to stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
What is it like in Galway? You're still in Galway, aren't you?
Yeah.
What is the vibe like at the moment? Is it, how hard are people finding it? You know,
it's hard to describe. Like the only really people I've been chatting to mates, but like getting on. But like I've got lucky enough, my siblings live in Galway, so I can chat to them and see them from afar. They came over. It was my 30th birthday there on Friday, so.
Happy birthday.
To see. Yeah, thanks very much. So they sort of broke the law, if you'd say it. They came down, my brother has a van, and he had smoke machine in the back of it, and he had lights and the whole lot, and happy 16th birthday. It was something for people to do. Like, it was great to see everyone, you know.
Yeah. I mean, like that, you know yourself, as a species, we like interaction.
Yeah.
And not being able to do it all the time, it's so weird. Man, you'd be surprised. You'd be shocked if you saw Dublin City at the minute. It's just mental.
Yeah. Is it dead or is it?
Yeah, it's dead. Up until because I was going to, you know, I'd be in and out of going to work because I am essential staff.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy. Like, it's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
You know, and then just before Christmas, it was hopping, and I was just like, "Come on, people, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's
open the shops, open everything, let them all in and let them all out again.
Yeah, that's it. Like, but here, look, I mean, it's crazy when you think about. I mean, what kind of a music industry are we going to come back to when it's all up and running again? The likes of our bands, like smaller bands. What are we going to come back to?
I don't know, and especially now with the whole Brexit, that whole thing, like you need a visa. They won't. I don't know. I didn't read into it properly, but it's something to do with they're not giving bands visas to come in, or and then bringing in your merch. Then you pay tax on it before you even come into the country.
Yeah,
it's like, lads, how, you know. And it's not just the smaller bands, the bigger bands too. Like, that affects everything. Like, you know, if you're touring from any other, you know, from not if you're not from Europe, we'll say, like, it's just killer. Like,
I mean, a lot of them would go through the UK, wouldn't they, before they get to the likes of here? So I'm hoping it doesn't have a really big knock-on effect. I mean, the H with Dublin Metal events and even Tall John, hopefully it doesn't affect them as much as, because they're all that we had. The likes of those guys, James up north, they're all that we have really for the likes of our bands to kind of, get a little foothold there,
Yeah, to support the big guys, like, or even get the supports, like, they were the main guys,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you guys had you got a lot of plans for last summer?
We did. We had we were in talks for doing, what was it, like 10 or 11-day tour in Europe.
Jesus.
We were chatting to this guy over in England at a booking agency, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got you this sorted. All you have to do is say yes, and we'll go. Like, we'll agree to it." And I was like, "Yeah, like totally." Like playing in Paris and playing in Amsterdam, and then going to Vienna and Zurich, and you're like, "Oh yes,"
That would have been class.
Powered up, and like it's just gone shite. But the one thing we were working on was trying to get funding, and like, because it's being especially in a metal band, it eats up all your money, and it's not like you're making big bucks playing gigs, you do it for the love of it.
Absolutely.
So we were trying to see, is there any other avenue, and we were looking into, we got funding recently. We got a grant from the Galway City Council, which was brilliant.
That's brilliant news.
And we got the grant for recording, so that's going to Kieran Culhan straight away. Like, so that's like 7 days recording for us nearly,
Brilliant.
So
it's great to hear someone I know getting some of that stuff, because a lot of people I know that had applied for it didn't get it, and a lot of the older or the more established bands got it, and you're like, why?
Yeah, just it's a lot of paperwork, but if you get it, you're gonna make the use of it,
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure Sean likes paperwork.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it. He's a teacher. He loves all that stuff, like all the dots and the I's and the whole lot and the commas. And I remember doing stuff for the videos and little things, and tour posters. He's perfect for it. Like, he's like, oh, there's a comma missing there. Go back, fix it. So, but yeah, lucky to have a lad like that,
Well, I mean, Jesus, I mean, you guys are the driving force. We use a dead label, I feel, are the driving force of the Irish scene at the minute, really. When you think about it. There is loads, I know, but I mean, you guys have made strides. I mean, I always put me hand forward for Cruachan. I think Cruachan have done fantastic,
It's a creative folk metal, basically.
I know, yeah.
Like, Fairfax the Kid, he's still going, like, and
he's a legend. He's an absolute legend. Yeah, but I just love seeing, because you know how close I'm affiliated with the Slug, and it's just fantastic. I love seeing how you've gone from strength to strength to strength. All stemming back from that one day we met in Metal to the Masses.
Yeah, because we were big fans of you before that. We were like, class, we get to see even get to see Two Tails Old play. Because I remember years ago seeing you, and then before after that, then you were supporting Corrosion that time in the academy, and that was amazing. Yeah. But that was a big turning point for us as well. Like, it was because we were playing gigs, and we're like, sure, will we give this go? This battle of the bands for Metal to the Masses. No harm. It's a gig in Dublin. Like, we get to play in Fimbles, so no harm at all. Like, but that really was a big sort of, what was it called, a bun or a trampoline?
Launching point.
Launching point, is it? A trampoline for us, and it really upped our game for the whole thing to do with like merch and promo and all that sort of stuff. And
you have to have probably the best merch marketing machine, I think, at the minute. You really do.
It's a bit of crack. Anything that's a bit of crack, I think, and just it's different, and Like
But yeah, people seem to resonate with the likes of the little slugs and the whatever else you come out with. It's just brilliant. Like
the latest thing we came up with, Sean found them online, is you can get glow in the dark patches.
No way.
So we got them. So yeah, you know, you're like, what is this? The same as the other patches. Like you show it to the light, and then after 10 minutes, turn off the lights. There, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
so that was really cool, and it's green, so you know, slimy. But
sense.
Just
that's brilliant.
I enjoy cool merch myself, so you know.
Yeah, that's what whenever like we don't make half as much merch as a lot of bands. I mean, it's something. It's an event when we do something like, but like that, I'm like, would I wear that?
Yeah, that's it. That's the way I'd say it. Would I wear it? I would, you know.
Yeah, or would I be? I suppose even better, would I be happy, comfortable paying for that? Is more to the point.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know yourself. I mean, if you get a good bit of merch out there, a good idea for a bit of merch, it sticks, and people will always remember. People are always wearing Slug stuff, you know, and you see it all over the place. It's always great.
It's cool,
you know.
Like, it's cool to see it. I'm like, oh, thanks very much. You know. Class, like it's so nice. Like
it's deadly when like you're saying when if someone recognizes you or I remember years ago, I was in the airport. I was in work, and there was a girl there, and she had a 2000 T-shirt on her, right? She didn't even know me, and I goes, "That's a cool T-shirt you have on you." And she goes, "Oh yeah, I love the band." And I goes, "Look at me." And she goes, "Oh my god, blah blah blah." It was just so funny, like it was killer, you know.
Yeah, but it's mad. Like you see people who are in bands and stuff, and you see them doing their job, and you're like, "Going, is that your man or is that your one?" Oh, you know, it's mad to see it too. Like,
yeah,
cool.
that was like when I was like that. Yeah, me working again a few years ago, and the lads from the Slomatics were going through, and they were like, "Carl, oh, Carl!" They saw me, you know, Carl. So I was just like chatting with them for like 10 minutes or whatever, you know. But they were going to have to do some tour or something. There's have you played with them actually? You have.
We played with them up in Belfast that time after Corrosion. It was the third night, I think. It was the first time getting to see them live. Jeez.
Oh, they're unreal, aren't they?
I loved them before, but then getting to see them live, and it's just like deadly. And they're so nice, the lads. They're so down to earth, like.
The gas thing is though, trying to organise a gig with them is like trying to get a needle in a haystack because they're so busy. Well, before all this, when I'm talking about stuff, I'm talking about pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Because I said it to them about trying to get a gig, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're booked up, blah blah blah," you know.
Yeah.
So, but they're one band I'd love to still play with, like.
Yeah. It's a great name as well, like Slomatics. Yeah.
And is Nacrunia still finished? Yeah.
Nacrunia is gone.
That's another band. Oh, sorry to ruin the mood there, but
you're grand. No, it's just like the one of the main reasons was it was Lisa, the drummer, was her like she really wanted to leave the country and go to New Zealand, and like we weren't going to stop her either. Like, you know, you don't want to stop someone from going somewhere and doing anything. So that really was like the turning point where it was just like, okay, and then trying to, because it's so hard to get a drummer, especially like in Galway. We tried everyone and like anyone who was interested, and there was one guy who played with us, Jason, for a while. I think he played in a band in Dublin, and he's in Organ Blender now.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah.
And he was playing with us for a while, but he couldn't keep it up with work and whatever else was going on. So it just fizzled out then, you know. And Anna, the fiddle player, moved back to Brazil, and then it was just like, okay. But it was a good run. But
you did some good shows with them as well, didn't you?
Oh,
you really did.
Yeah, like just thinking the other day, like, what was it? I woke up to see that there was an earthquake in Zagreb and all around Croatia as well, and just shit. Because I remember being there, we got to play there with Nacrunia. We got to play in Zagreb, and it was brilliant. They were so nice, like, and just brings you back to going, geez, we played a gig there, you know. It was so cool, like, and it was such fun as well. But it's hard having what was it, 6 or 7 people to look after. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder how Slipknot did it. Like,
I think they all have handlers. Each one of them has their own handler. Like, you know.
one of the lads like, "What? Pull you out of the shed here and go on."
Give the clown a cup of coke or something. There, go on.
But
There's a distinct difference between Slug and Nacrunia, isn't there?
yeah, there was. It was more like folky metal. But there is a new project on the go.
Oh, okay.
With Kieran. Do you know Kieran who played the bouzouki?
Yes, I do. Yes.
He would have been the main driving force of the band. And when that fizzled out, he asked me would I be interested in just starting a new project. So we have a new project on the go, and
excellent.
Of course, we were jamming in the same room with in the Slug room, but that's all gone now. We can't do that. So yeah. So we have new stuff on the go. We're called. I'll tell you. I'll reveal the name. This is a world debut. We're called Claggernock.
Claggernock.
Claggernock, and it's the Irish for the sound of beating rain.
Oh,
so
nice.
You know, like if you hear all that, that's Claggernock, or it's Thurin to say in Irish.
Claggernock is cool, actually.
So we've continued in the style of like singing a Gaeilge. So it's between me and him, Kieran singing and I'm singing. All as Gaeilge, and I'm playing guitar, and it's great to be playing guitar again.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to actually say to you. Whenever I've seen you play guitar, Jesus, you're a fine guitarist. No, you're a fine guitarist, man.
Cheers.
And because, like, obviously, I wouldn't have seen an awful lot of it until I saw Nacrunia or whatever, but because I would have only known you as a vocalist, really. Jesus, man, you can play. You can fucking play.
We used to play in my first band years ago. We were from Cavan. We were called the Redneck Nuns.
I remember them.
And it was great crack. That's how I played guitar, and that's how I learned. Grew up playing it, so it was guitar and singing. So yeah, it was just nice to be back playing it again.
Excellent. What kind of guitar do you use, or what's your preferred axe?
Well, the axe I'm using at the minute is a Schecter Hellraiser. It was actually, it's a red guitar. I bought it off, I bought it for Ross. Ross Duffy up in Belfast. It was actually, I remember I was doing extra work for Game of Thrones back.
Right.
I don't know how many years ago now. But I was still up in Belfast at the time, and I got paid. I was like, yes. Hi Ross, do you want a guitar? So that's the guitar I'm playing at the minute mostly.
Lovely.
So I've sort of what you call it, pimped it out a wee bit. So because with Claggernock we play down to your guys' tuning. Did you play a drop A? Was it?
At one point, yeah.
Yeah. So
drop G.
Drop G. Yeah. So I'm trying to get the guitar to stay in tune basically because it's so low, but it's trying to pimp it out, customize it, you know.
I remember in the early days when we were going down that low, the lads used to use bass strings on the top 2 or 3 strings, and then I think they had to drill the holes for the nuts or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember modifying a bit.
Custom, you know, and it's the thing, like, because you can do that with a 7-string or an 8-string, but it's just like they're all great guitars, but it's just not.
I know, I agree. I feel if you've got more than 4 strings or 6 strings, you know, like if you can get the heaviness out of something that's 4 or 6 string, that's all you need. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, keep it classic, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have many songs written for Claggernock? Or?
Claggernock, we basically have the guts of our demo done. So the plan is to actually record whenever, you know, and all this. Can't plan anything really, but the plan is to record with Kieran Culhan as well.
Nice one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to, you know, it's like, I want to show everyone, but I can't.
I know, yeah.
No.
But it's great to have something to look forward to, isn't it?
That's it, like, and, you know, it's the same thing as well, like, do you know Pavel, who plays with us on bass? Yeah. He, that lad is a busy man too, because he's working with us He's playing bass with Soothsayer as well, and they just brought out an album.
Right.
And they're on Transcending Obscurity, which I think is an Indian label.
Oh,
There's
right.
some really good bands on it.
Deadly.
So they just recently, I don't know if it's out yet. So he's doing that, as well as he has a new album written for Z-Ren, his band as well.
It's a while since they were around, isn't it?
Yeah, so they have an album, but he's trying to see. I'll tell you the crack. He added lots of what would you call it, classical stuff and strings and stuff for the background of the songs, and it's all on his computer. But his computer's getting that old that it's dying.
Oh no.
And it's losing certain things of, I don't know, with Reaper or something. It's losing certain files, so it can't connect the files, so he can't export it. And he's trying to get it. Oh, it's just like fix so bad for him. Like,
nasty.
He'll get around to it, but look, I'd say with this whole COVID thing, there's loads of music being written as well, like, and all over the world, and there's going to be total different style, I'd say. You know, with all different things of pop and rock and funk. And, you know, it's going to be a different angle to it, you know.
I'd like to hope and think that when bands can go back to playing, that people will support local bands better than they did before. I'm not saying people didn't. I'm always appreciative of anyone who supports our bands. But hopefully they just go out now a bit more and embrace,
that's it,
you know, local bands.
And I think
yeah. As well as that though, we need to, like, it sounds really sappy, but when we can all gig again, we all need to look out for each other and
like,
you know,
and chat. Chat is the main thing, like, and not to be like going jealous of anyone. We're all like, everyone's, you know.
That's it. Like, I mean, we've always looked out for each other.
Yeah.
You know, and the perfect example of that is when we played with Crowbar. Yeah, we were playing after yous or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when we played with Corrosion, we were playing before yous.
Yeah.
You know,
it's cool.
But that, to me, that's like, I'm so proud of them. Like, you know.
Yeah. That's class. Like, that was mad, man. When you think about it, like.
Yeah.
I just the other day, it was yesterday. I was at work and I got a Facebook notification. It's like, Pepper Keenan has accepted your friend request. It was like, oh, wow. Only a couple of years there, but it's cool. Like, just like cool. Like, you know, it was such mind blowing to be able to play with them bands. Like,
yeah, it is. And I think I think I can only speak for myself anyway. I think you guys are on a totally different trajectory now because you have a vision and a goal, whereas we're a little bit more kind of where we have to stay where we are. You know what I mean? And that we're good with that. Yeah. We're just happy to write or create our music and play our songs and whatever. But it's great to see the transfer, like before all this, to see how far reaching you guys went. You know, it's fucking gas, like, and then like you say, like, I mean, playing with Crowbar for me anyway was a highlight, obviously.
So you know? And getting to see you up singing like Planets Collide, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I nearly cried and it was up in Belfast. It was so class. Collide.
It was a great night. They were great nights, like, and you know yourself, like, I mean, when you've got friends like that, they never go. You have friends for life like that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
yeah,
it's like, especially music though, where it takes you, the people you meet, the friends you meet, the experience you have. You don't get it anywhere else. Like, you can't organically just go, oh, do this, or, do you know?
Yeah.
We're going to travel to this place now, do you know?
But isn't it, like you say, I mean, when you go to a different country and you're accepted, not accepted, but people love what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, when you play, was it Meldays just played with the big huge stage and you had the big huge, that was awesome looking.
Yeah, that was class. Like, that was mental. And it was like 34 degrees. It was like totally different, because Nacroon played that stage as well in 2017. And it was totally different because we got washed off stage with a massive storm. It just cut into our set and we never got to finish anything or say goodbye to anyone. It was just like, right out of it. That was it.
Jesus.
Shit. So it was nice to be able to play as. I'm still like baffled after all that. To say that I've played them stages is amazing. Like it's
great feeling,
unbelievable. Yeah, it's class. Like it's so cool, and just here, you know, it was just mad.
Tell me, some of your most memorable gigs that you've played with any band.
The first one, like the one that always springs to mind, I don't know, it's not the nicest one, but it's a memorable one. I remember with Redneck Nuns years ago, we were playing at a biker rally.
All right.
And the biker club were called the Filthy Animals. And yeah, so we were up playing anyway, and I was singing and playing guitar at the time, and you know, you have a couple of beers and blah blah blah, and I was up playing. And do you know when you're singing, sometimes, I don't know if you got it, or before I learned how to sing properly, like the air would go out of your head, or you know, you'd be like singing, and then you just like nearly faint a little bit.
Yes.
But I was playing away on guitar, and I started feeling really like nauseous and sick. I was like, keep playing, come on, like. And I was playing into Bad Penny, Rory G.
Yeah.
And it was like a bad penny, you turn the pit. I was getting a bit sick. I was like, the show must go on. Keep playing. And then for the solo chord, playing properly. And then after, I was like, after the song, I had to run off stage and sick. Yeah, here you go. And then this one was outside, and she goes, "Yeah, all right, Jason, throw the whiskey." And Mike Sargent was like, okay. Back up on stage. "You guys think you're filthy animals. I just have them puking everywhere."
Did you say that, did you?
Yeah, this got me into spades. Ding, 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 ding. It was just a memorial gig, and everyone just went mental. Like it was just one of those.
It added to the vibe.
You know, rock and roll. Like, another time I had great crack was the time we played up. I think it was for a Metal Masses thing. We were asked to play as a guest. And I had been playing, I don't know if you were there, but I was playing with this we brought up a little tub of slime.
All right.
Playing away with it. And at one stage of the gig, I just decided to go, took it out, and just threw it, slime, you know, slime, and threw it into the crowd. And I was like, wow, covered in slime. And you could just see John Claude going, and it was hanging from the ceiling and slime dragging everywhere.
I think it was there. I was there. I think I was there, yeah.
Great crack.
I remember that, yeah.
I just remember John Claude coming up to me after going, "You fucking bloody run." I was like, "Look, I cleaned up, sorry."
Well, clean up. Such a nice guy.
Yeah, like, just don't be leaving the place in the tip.
Yeah, clean as you go. Clean as you go.
It. But some great times, like especially one of the best ones. When we were over in Coventry, do you remember we played that, was it Spires Fest or something?
Spires, yeah.
Spires, yeah. And we had great crack, and Tony drove us over on the metal bus.
That was great.
Do you remember he was up and he jumped up, we were all in the back in the smoking area, and he jumped up and took off his shirt he was on the bench and took off his shirt, and he was like going mental, and he was just like, "Hey lads, imagine me doing that."
I remember that.
That was such crack, like. Oh,
yeah, I think you and Sean like do my voice, don't you?
Imagine me doing that. I was just a funny one to come out. Like, just that night went on. Then I remember, I think they all went home, and it was me and Dan and Kelvin stayed up, and we watched the McGregor fight till 4 o'clock in the morning. We were the only Irish ones there in an English pub. It was great, great.
Deadly. Good times. Like that's it.
Yeah,
great times.
Like. I always remember the things that are, you know, not the biggest of gigs you played, or the most amount of people. The memories that stick with you, the little things. Always the ones.
I would say though, there's one band you'd love to play with, and that's Orange Goblin. Yeah.
I remember. I think it was I seen their name on the Siege, and I was like, "I hope we get to play it, please God." We didn't get to play it, but I still went to it.
Yeah.
Like my favorite band, like. Just everything they've done is just, I love it. I'd love to play with them, but sure. You
never know what might happen.
You never know. And sadly enough, the bassist Martin, has left the band recently, so.
Oh, okay.
Which is a bit sad. But,
Is he an original member, is he?
Yeah, he was an original.
Right. It's unfortunate. I don't know an awful lot about the band themselves.
Yeah.
I know some of the songs. Like, what's the song I love? Black Egg. Is that one of theirs?
Black Egg. You don't live Black Egg.
Yeah.
This is more
You
bluesy.
must be crazy.
Yeah, it's class.
Which a woman wailing at the end. It's brilliant.
Yeah. That's. I think it is. It's Joe, the guitar player's wife. I think was singing on it. She's a brilliant singer as well.
Yeah, I just like that. That got me. I wanted to do a song similar to that. Then, not necessarily in the way they did, as in get a female vocalist in on one of their songs. And was trying for ages to try and get an idea in my head. Never came to fruition, but you never know in the future it might. But I'd still love a female vocal over some of our riffs. It'd be dead.
Yeah, it'd work really well with your guys' stuff as well. Like, with your vocal as well, it'd be beautiful. Like. Beautiful.
hey, we need to do something together.
Jesus,
Eventually.
Yeah.
You know, let's try and reconnect that at some point.
Yeah, I'd love to come bring out some more riffs.
Yeah, you never know.
Not all taken already.
So let me see. You're just going to be riding this out, I suppose, and then as soon as you can, you'll be recording.
Yeah, like, see, the main thing is first is to get back to jamming together, because obviously as well, like me and Sean and me all live in Galway, but Pavel is based down in Cork, so it's just, you know, when he's allowed to come back up again, it's just like getting into the jamming of things as well. Like, that's the main thing, you know. But like, hopefully the plans to record this year, whatever, you know,
all going well, but
we might have to do it on the slide.
Don't incriminate yourself on my show. Or me.
Yeah. But no, I don't mean like that, but you know, if things, hopefully it'll cool down a bit. I doubt we're all going to get vaccinated this year, to be honest, for sure.
No, I mean, to be honest, once the health workers get done, if they take it.
That's the main thing though, like, you know, they've been going through so much, man. And just people like, oh yeah, the health workers. You know, it's sort of like people forget about it then. And they're like, no, this is all the time. Like I remember, like even, sorry to be going into it, but I remember like, I've seen shots there of like people in ICU wards. I was in an ICU ward a couple of years ago, and I had an ulcer in my stomach that I didn't know about, and it popped.
Oh my God.
And I had to get keyhole surgery, and I woke up and I got pneumonia, so I wasn't in the best form. And I remember being in ICU, and it's shit, like, and anyway, it's and you got to give it to them people who can go in, especially in wearing all that, you know, stuff like makeup. Sorry, someone ringing me here.
Busy man, huh?
Sorry about that. This is how less.
Oh my God.
Mommy, leave me alone.
Put her on the phone.
She's a king actually as well. Her maiden name was King.
Oh, right.
So we might be somehow related way back somehow.
Somewhere along the line.
I was saying that as well to, do you know Brian Harrington, who used to sing with Genova?
That's right, yeah.
I think we're related somehow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we have to be somehow.
Yeah, there's not an awful lot of Harringtons, shit, isn't it, around the place?
No, and my grandfather came from where is it? Oh God, I can't remember. Somewhere on the way into Dublin. Not Chapel Lizard, I don't know. I can't remember.
Chapel Lizard.
Yeah, Chapel Lizard.
It's such a weird name.
Yeah, isn't it? I always said Chapel Lizard.
Chapel Lizard. Oh my God.
But I can't wait to get back to gigging and having the crack and just like the banter, you know. And just
I know it's not great, but I just imagine there's going to be an overflow of bands wanting to play again, and of course, don't forget, if there's any bands that were only starting up, they'll be wanting the gig as well. So
yeah, that's it, of course. Like,
we'll have to be on our fucking toes
that's
for all
it.
those little whippersnappers coming
And
up.
delighted to see it. You know, it's in the last couple of years, metal just went boom. You know, and it's not. And no offense, it's not just in Dublin; it's all over the country as well,
All over
which
the,
is
yeah.
amazing. Because a long time, a long time, it was a lot of Dublin, and it's like like. You know, and it's great to see, and I'm delighted that we can even have like podcasts talking about just even Irish metal. You know, it's really cool. Like,
yeah.
No,
Well, that's
not.
it to me. That for me, like I just like, as I always say about this podcast, this is like I want to leave it like a love letter to Irish metal, so to speak. I know that sounds really sappy, but I like talking to, and when I talk to people, I want it to be almost like timeless, so I can listen to it a year down the line, and that's what the lads from the Slug were doing, or whoever, you know. So it's just great to be able to give back, you know. And
definitely.
but it's. I mean, like, we're lucky that you know, Richie's doing it, I'm doing it, and even Trev from Crane Entertainment is doing a few bits now on online on YouTube. So like, the more the merrier, you know.
There's a few of them now, like, but it's great to see, like, that you can have all them people, like, we have our own little, there's a network of, you know, everyone's supporting it, and it's great, like, and there's, like, I don't know if it was there before my time, but there's a great connection between Northern Ireland and the Republic as well.
It wasn't as strong. It wasn't as strong. Look, we have great, you know yourself, we have great friendship with the bands up north and the fans. And they never forget you. That's what I love about them. They never forget you.
Great heads as well. Like,
yeah. And I mean, they'll always look out for you. And I mean, if someone needs somewhere to crash, any of them will offer a floor, outfit, a bed, whatever. You know, and I mean, Jesus, I'm sure, like, we've all done it for each other over the years.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you slept in one of my cages, like. As you said earlier.
It was after a concoction that me and Owen made with all your leftover booze that you had for ages. I remember we did the thing and we drank them, and everything just went a bit blurry after that. Get in the cage. All right, okay.
Go sleep. The dog got to sleep on the sofa then, not me.
But it's great to even have a floor, you know.
Absolutely, but that's it. Like what we're saying, looking out for bands, you know, just getting back to it, like, you know. I am just dying to sing again. I haven't sang properly in a long time. We had one jam after the last lockdown. And we were, you know, I don't know if you know Ed from Iona Death Cult. He's our new guitarist.
Okay, class. And I've checked them out. They're deadly. Like.
Out of class.
Yeah,
he's. I'll tell you all about it later. He's. We had one jam with him. We'd one jam with him, and then back to like whatever. So he has only had one jam with us, but he's still writing away.
Class.
And of course, he's like Iona Death Cult they're getting ready to finish off recording as well.
So where are they based again? Like, I remember
they're in Bray. They used to rehearse in Bray, in the same place that Creep and a few other bands did. I think that place is gone now.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where they're. He was telling me there a while ago. I can't remember, but they again, sure, everyone's on lockdown. So So.
I remember. Not remember. I just went out there this evening to pay rent for the practice room that we can't practice in. Monthly rent.
Who was that with? You went to pay rent, did you?
Yeah, you went out to just pay rent in advance. It's like Ballyband rehearsal studios. So we rent a room monthly, which is great. And we share it with another band. But
it's great when you can do that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just sad you can't go out and like, come on, you know.
Because I remember, like, yous would have been in some form or another in that room most days, writing or jamming, and that really pays off.
Big time.
My God, that pays off so much.
Especially when you've all that groundwork done, and then you just go and do the gig, and you can, like, especially for me, I can lep around and, you know, have the crack then, because you know it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Tell me this. In no particular order, give me some of your favorite albums. I always ask this, so they don't have to be in order, but albums that really mean something to you.
Well, like I've had two. I've always said this is one of my Desert Island albums. It'll have to be Therapy, Trouble Gum.
Fantastic.
I remember
album.
when I got that, it's brilliant. Like, this is brilliant.
All killer, no filler.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Like, great band. Another one was White Zombie. Le Sexteristo.
Devil Music Volume 2?
Or, yeah. It's a big long name. I should know it, but yeah, that's...
I love that album.
Class. Just riff after riff, groove. Then I'd say... Rory Gallagher, live. Which one is it? The Irish tour. Class.
Was that 77 or something, is it?
Yeah, I can't remember the year now. It should be, 70 something. Yeah, I should know that. 74, I think. Jeez, oh fuck. It's just so many. It's so many. I can't just like say one and then another, and you'd have to go like genre by genre there, like.
Yeah. Well, just give me one more. Then. Give me one more. Then. Out of interest.
Chaos AD was a big one for me. Because like when I was younger, me and my brother used to share bunk beds, and when I was 4 or 5, I had been listening to Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, and Sepultura, and whoever else. And I remember saying to my brother, he keeps telling me, "Will you ever tell that lad to stop shouting? I'm trying to go to sleep. Why are you shouting?" Didn't realise now that I fucking that's so loud, you know. But that was a big album for me when I was teenage years as well. Like, I remember even listening to it before my junior cert maths exam. I was reading the lyrics of the booklet, and I was like looking at the maths thing at the same time, and word with thing.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. There are some of them anyway. Like,
deadly.
Some of them.
What I'm just throwing a couple of questions at you here to make it feel like an interview sort of thing, because we're just chatting like mates, like we haven't seen each other in ages.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
Like what kind of inspired you to go down the heavy vocal route?
What inspired me? I suppose from playing with the other band, singing tunes that you love. I don't know, just playing rock, and then it just morphed into more so heavier stuff, and I just enjoy it. And it's got more crunch to it, more power to it, I think.
It's effortless for you. It really is.
Well, it was a long time to get the technique right, not blowing your voice out every band practice or every song, even like. But once you get it, something about it just feels tribal to me,
Yeah.
It's a real release of anger as well, because you wouldn't usually be angry, but I get it out with, metal is therapy basically.
Absolutely.
Like, and I do talk about things. It's not only that, but it's a great for especially for roar, and it's just like getting shit out, getting stuff out. I think that's why. Just cool.
Are you the main lyric writer in Slug? Or?
Yeah, mainly, yeah. And then the lads throw in a couple of bits and and themes and stuff like that. So we do mainly doing stuff.
What song are you most proud of any of your bands?
Oh Jesus!
I suppose that's like trying to say picking a favorite child, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, Jesus. Fuck. I don't know. I'd have to pick one from every band,
Yeah, go on. If you can.
From Slug, I'd have to say Matriarch's Line, because when I was writing it, I was like, I write it to the music. I was like, this is going to be class. And I was delighted with the way it turned out. And my aim with the game when I was writing was to someday we're gonna fucking play this at Bloodstock and that Sophie tent. Someday. Got to play it, and I was so proud that I was saying it to the lads. Sean was like, "Oh, don't John, you jinx it, you jinx." But yeah, I was really proud of that song. With the Crinia, I think it would have been Bolt or Marrow was one of the tunes that I wrote most of the music to, and we were delighted because it got voted in the the Trevor's.
Oh, that's right.
The Metal Radio Ireland thing, so I was really proud of that, and I got an award for that. I was like, brilliant, delighted with that.
That's cool.
And for Redneck Nuns, it was Nuns on the Run was our tune. Check it out. My brother did a video of it on YouTube.
Cool.
The Town, do you know that film?
Ben Affleck. Yeah.
So they're all nuns and they're going around with trying to rob the place. So I was really proud of that. So there were the 3 tunes. So I was really proud to write.
Excellent.
3 different bands.
Yeah, and the Nuns is done, is it?
Oh, well, it was, we're all still about, but we haven't played with each other in years, you know.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Shane, he works in Dublin now. I think he was doing a lot of music stuff, behind the scenes, with, I don't know if it was rigging or doing sound or something, so he's still playing, which is good. I think the other guy the bass player is more settled down, and Mick was playing in a cover band on drums for a long time, but he's back to college. So you never know. You never know what that guy.
Be great to see something coming up again.
It'd be cool, just something for the crack. That's the main thing. We need the crack. I never with especially when any bands have been in. I love this. I love having the crack. You have to be serious and get shit done, and be. We're serious about the music, but when you're playing, it shouldn't. I don't like taking myself too seriously because fuck it, I don't take shit too seriously sometimes. Cause then you're just fucking constantly paranoid about shit, or it's you can't. I'm not me. This is not me. I'd rather do me. I've
never seen you take shit seriously. So I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
Good. I know, it's not the end of the world if something good hits up, it's not to be your end all of your life either,
Exactly.
But,
so there you go.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah.
I'd love if you and the lads maybe would come on again when you get recording.
Oh yeah.
It'd be
definitely.
Great to see you all, and we'll do a multi-Zoom or whatever.
Yeah, multi-pack.
To get totally slimed.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Be great. That'd be great crack.
And then you never know. Let's try and get the WoW Slug back gigging.
Yeah, that'd be class.
It's been too long. Still one of my favourite T-shirts.
Yeah. I don't think my T-shirt fits me anymore. But that was a class T-shirt.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Listen, if it's okay with you, I'm going to end the show with an Acrunia track, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's no bother at all. Yeah,
because we'll have opened with a 10-ton Slug track, so it'd be only fitting that we end it with an Acrunia track. So
class.
I'll leave it as a surprise for you, okay?
No bother, yeah. If we have to.
Listen, Ro, thanks a million for coming on.
Thank you, KingWoes.
And thanks to anybody who's watching or listening. It's always a pleasure to do this. I love doing it for fun, for the chats, for the crack, for the Irish metal. That's the one. KingWoes is out of here.
So am I. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.